Come on, we won. Let's go. First game in the new space of the new season. We won. We pulled it out. It wasn't spectacular. This was no, 2014-15 Barcelona, but it was good. It was a good game for the most part. We're going to get into a lot of specific player things because I think there are some interesting things to cover for each player, more so than the entire team. But starting it off from the bat, Hansi Flick, I think, did a fantastic job with the game today. I think the way they pressed, especially at the end of the match, was very impressive considering some of the best pressing players were Rafinha and Marc Casado, who had just played so much football. They had played the entire match. That's really good from them. A really good sign, and Hansi Flick is in charge of all that. I'm excited for this Hansi Flick setup, this system that he's bringing. Sorry about the lighting, too, by the way. I can't give you guys more light here. I just don't have any light set up. It's coming from my desktop. But I think there are a lot of things we can, poke holes in, and that's fine. I'm not in love with Hansi Flick or anything. I think these are really good signs. And the biggest one out of all of them is the fact that I think he made the subs at the perfect time for most of these guys. I think the Balde sub could have come earlier, considering this is his first game back in a long time, but I'm okay with him playing for 60 minutes, and he came off, and then he made a bunch of subs at the 60-minute mark. Let's see exactly at 64 minutes, but they stood up at the 60-minute mark. He took Kubarsi off, who had a yellow card, which makes, tactical sub probably. Kubarsi probably could have gone more, but I'm not upset about a 17-year-old not playing the entire game. And then Ferran Torres came out, who wasn't playing well in the second half. I think he ghosted a little bit in the second half, and Pedri came on in the 64th minute. Then Bernal came off, who I don't think had a wonderful game. We'll get more into him specifically later. Eric Garcia came on in the 71st minute. I never liked Eric Garcia. I still don't love him. I think he played well today. And I think part of that was, I'll get into this later. I think it was a smart signing there. And then Pau Victor came on for Lamine Yamal. Good. That is something Xavi never did. Taking out Lamine Yamal was not something he ever did. And you could say he had different players, he didn't have this opportunity, but he could have figured something out. Lamine Yamal coming off at the 86th minute, yeah, it's late. But Pau Victor put in a very good 10 minutes, created some cool chances, and helped the team. I'm really excited to see a coach with more experience. And I think that's what this comes down to. This isn't rocket science. Subbing guys off at the 60th minute to get some more energy and, let these guys breathe is normal for a lot of coaches. But somebody said it in my stream today. I'm not sure which one of you guys it was. So I'm sorry. But the fact that Xavi always came in, played the full 90 effectively, and then whenever he was hurt, he came back immediately to play and play as much as possible. So he holds himself to a very high standard, and maybe he does that with these other players. Even when it might not be the smartest decision, I don't think all of these guys should have played for Xavi so much, especially Lamine Yamal. But he did, or he felt like he had to, and I think that hurt some of these guys. It doesn't look like Hansi Flick's going to do that, and that's a great sign. And I'm very, very excited to see the future with Hansi, because you might not have loved his tactics for the entire game. I liked that they were still pressing at the end, and they pretty much took away any chance Valencia had. Obviously, right at the end there, got a little weird, but they did a good job of shutting them down, made them confused and not sure what they're doing. Let's get into player by player. The tactics were good. The pressing was very exciting. The defense was a little bit shaky, but we're going to get into everybody there, starting with Ter Stegen, the guy I just made my video on. Some of you hate him. Some of you love him and defended me in the video. He played fine. I think he definitely was some out of position a little bit, or maybe not in the right spot to make a save. He was fine. Obviously conceded a goal, but I'm going to give him a 6.5. That's what SofaScore has him at right now. I think he was fine. Again, getting out of the blocks here. He didn't have a lot of opportunities to pick out the fullback when, he was distributing the ball, which I think is interesting. And I think it has a lot to do with Koundé or mainly Koundé defending so far inside as like a kind of a right-sided center back at times. He doesn't have any outlet there, especially when Lamine Yamal went off and Rafinha came on, because Rafinha plays narrow, and Lamine played pretty narrow too. 6.5 there. Alejandro Balde, I'm going to give him a 7. Not perfect today. Made some mistakes. Didn't take people on wonderfully. But first game back, looked like Alejandro Balde, and I'm not going to fault him for coming out early. That's fine. Inigo Martinez, not his best game. I never loved Inigo Martinez. He's good on the ball, a little too ambitious, not great, aggressive with his tackles, and he was fine today. 7. It probably could go 6.5, but I'm going to give him the 7. Pau Kubarsi, what a game. Only 6.9 here on SofaScore. I don't agree with that. I'm going to give him an 8 because I think he made a lot. Like, obviously, the goal line clearance, he saved a tie. He saved the team for 2 points right there. That in and of itself earns itself, an 8. So give him that. Got the yellow card. Little unfortunate with the tackle. Maybe a little bit too aggressive right at the end of the 45. But I think an 8 is fair. Koundé, again, 7.5. Solid game. Koundé is one of the few players in this team, probably with Rafinha, just Koundé, that I'm certain he will perform at a level at that position. When he plays center back, it's a little bit of a different story, but at right back, he's very solid, and I really like him. 7.5, I think is fair. Marc Bernal, I didn't love him today. Now, I missed the first 15 minutes of the game, and I didn't watch. I was talking to the viewers a little bit too much for the first 35 minutes. So I missed a lot of his cameo, and I'm sorry for that, but I think Caicedo overshadowed him a lot today. Caicedo had a really good match. But Marc Bernal, I'm going to give him a 7 just because I don't think I can really fairly rate him, and SofaScore has him with a 7. Lamine Yamal, I think he was really good today. Sorry, I got sunburned today. I played 5v5 footy. You're going to see that video on the second channel here. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because they might not show it to you since it's a different type of video that you normally watch. Okay, Lamine Yamal, I think he took on people well, created a lot of chances. I think he had an assist today. Yes, he did. He was really good. Lamine Yamal was fiery today. An 8, I think, is very fair. I think you could give him more than that, but I think Rafinha specifically was very good today. The fact that he can still press so insanely well that late into the match and be that, he was playing as a midfielder for the first 60 minutes of this match and doing very well for that matter. I'm really impressed with Rafinha. It's just the variety of opportunities and positions that Rafinha can find himself in is very valuable to this team. And I liked him today. An 8.5, I think, is very fair for everything he created. Obviously created the penalty. Was it the worst penalty I've ever seen? No, but I've seen that called before. I remember one on Messi, I think, in the Champions League in 2020. If any of you guys remember that, I could be wrong. Robert Lewandowski, fine today. I think there were moments where he was really good. He turned quickly, obviously scored 2 good goals. The pen was better than what I've seen from him. I like just the straight run up, very confident, top corner, best pen you could possibly take pretty much. And then, scoring the goal off the pass from Lamine, he had to fight his defender off and get his foot into that position, and he did a good job. There were times where I doubt him in his ability to do that. I don't think he was great for the first 40 minutes of this game. He made some of Lewandowski of yesteryear positions and plays where he lost the ball too easily and fell a lot. But I think he played okay. I'm impressed with him. And scoring 2 goals, you got to give him an 8.5. I'm not going to give him more than that because I think he felt he's playing a little bit very withdrawn, which is concerning to me because I think it's more of a tactical thing and it's not just Lewandowski wanting to play there. I think it's actually they are pushing Lamine Yamal and Rafinha narrow so that Lewandowski can drop back, but now still have that channel covered last season. And this is a good thing for Hansi Flick, or from Hansi, because Lewandowski was just drifting out here, and then we would have no one on a break central because Lewandowski's too slow to get there to recover, and he's not just staying on the back line ready to poach. Having guys that can run and get there like Lamine and especially Rafinha is good. And so they bring them in here so that Lewandowski can drop here and work, but it's Lewandowski, so I don't know if it's the greatest idea, but it's what was happening a little bit. Ferran Torres, I thought he played okay in the first half. I really don't think he was that bad. I don't think he was very good in the second half especially, but, did a little bit of the inverted striker or inverted winger role, and he looked okay. I'm going to give him a 6.5 too, just because I don't think he was special. Made a couple of good crosses into the box. Outside of that, I don't know. The team as a whole didn't press wonderfully in the first half, and then going into the beginning of the second. So I don't know. I'm not going to blame it all on Ferran Torres, but whatever was set up that way, I'm not the purist. I don't know why. Maybe you guys do. Give me your thoughts in the comments of why that might have happened. But yeah, it was definitely a fact of the second half there. And then, that's all of the starters. Real quick rapid fire through the subs because I don't think I need to linger much on them. Gerard Martin played pretty well. I'm pretty happy with him. I don't know a ton about him because I was more expecting Alex Valle to get the minutes. It seems like Flick doesn't like Alex Valle for whatever reason because he doesn't play him at left back. He's been playing him at right back in the preseason, and he could have put him in today. So maybe Gerard Martin's more solid as he's like 6'2" or something. He looked huge. 7, Christensen, same story. 7, fine defensively. He played as a center back, not Eric Garcia, who came in later. Then Pedri came in that same window with those 2 other guys, and he was really close a couple times. He took a shot from deep or from, outside the box, which always scares me, and it should scare you because he pulled his hamstring doing that last season. I didn't talk about Casado enough. Casado was insane. Casado was so good. I thought he was so exciting to watch in the second half. Pressing like nobody's business, linking up really well with Pedri, who didn't link up that well with Lamine Yamal, but Marc Casado was really smart, really good at football today. I'm so glad Sergio Roberto left because Marc Casado is a significant improvement if we're going by just this game. We can't go by just this game for this whole season, but he looked good. And yeah, I'm going to give him an 8. I think that's a little wrong, but I'm going to just go with an 8 because I really liked him. And then Pedri played well. I'm just going to give him a 7. I think he didn't link up perfectly or create enough. There was something missing. And so for that reason, I'll give him a 7. Eric Garcia, I'm going to give him a 7.5. I don't love him, and I never have, and I never will, but he didn't incorporate himself in the buildup whatsoever, and I think that is great. I think he's okay on the ball as a center back, but as a midfielder, he's not great, and somehow they bypassed him, or I just didn't see him much with the ball at his feet, and defensively, he put pressure on guys. He either made them lose it, he won it back a couple times, or, he made them pass it back to center backs, and I like to see that. That's good. And he's shorter. He's like 6 foot. He's like my height, 5'11". And so he can operate there and run. He's not the fastest, but he should have some energy there to move. And so, yeah, I think 7.5 is fair. Pau Victor, I'm going to give him a 7 just because he didn't have a huge debut. I think he played like 10 minutes with added time, but did a good job of putting crosses in and being a big part of this attack and a dangerous part of this attack. Put some really good balls in. They didn't fall to the right player or it just didn't meet his feet like the Casado missing the open chance, which, you can fault him for, but whatever. And then Pedri, he just missed linking up with Pedri on another ball. Yeah. Pau Victor should start more than Ferran Torres. I don't know why Ferran Torres got the start here. We haven't even seen him that much in preseason, but whatever. I thought it was a good game overall. And let me know what you think. I could see you guys disagreeing with that. That's probably fair. But I'm excited for the future. We won. And there were a lot of good things to take from it. Not entirely perfect by any means, but no team is, especially this early in the season. Real Madrid might have won, 2-0 in the Super Copa or whatever, that Super Cup, whatever it's called. And but I don't think they were perfect. They struggled a lot in the first half to put something together against Atalanta, who were playing very well. But they figured it out. We figured it out. So baby steps. This was a good sign. And yeah, moving forward, I'm going to be live tomorrow on Tifo. Link will be in the description as well. If you guys want to join me, just use my code ROLU. It's free, and it's just a new live streaming platform that I'm a bigger part of, and it's exciting, and so check it out. Everyone who's in there seems to enjoy it. It's a lot quieter, too. There's not 250 people screaming, brain rot like Kai Sinat's chat. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because I have a IRL footy video. That's why I'm so sunburnt today. I was playing footy all morning, and I'm exhausted, but it's going to be a really sick video. I played in New York City in a tournament. I'm going to put it on the second channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because you might not see it otherwise. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.